an hour, which was Heat. And they probably all weren't sitting out there at that time. And there were little spots where you could get up, like that stupid Playboy thing or the Limp Bizkit concert thing. Like there were moments where you could do that. Whereas I feel like this is just like this match here. I mean, the only reason why I'm talking about this the way I am is because here you've got arguably two of the best performers in wrestling, not just WWE, but pro wrestling. And I think they really suffered. And it's pretty much destroyed that match in a way. It's never going to be looked back on as it will be looked back on in WWE eyes as a great match. But I think from fans' point of view, it will always be the second best now match to the New Japan one.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to suffer that because that was such a great match. But like I said before, it's just too much expectation coming to things. Do you think just because it's WrestleMania, they've got to go all out? And even I thought that, but you've got to hold something back. Maybe they're going to have another match along further down the line. Who knows?
Well, yeah. So, but the performance-wise, as I said, both guys done a decent match. I mean, any other time, like I said, if this was like first or second, I think we'd be talking about it's a lot different, Matt. We may even be saying this was the greatest thing we'd ever seen. Because the reaction, it does really add to it. Like fan reaction to things does make a big difference. And what the biggest shame for me is if Vince McMahon's hearing what he heard last night, he's never going to be a fan of putting this type of thing on again, is he? This ain't ever going to happen in a long time now. Because he'll be like, man, it's dead air. Damn it, get me Hogan. He'll be more interested in the bloody fluff again. So yeah, disappointing in that. Of course, big shock to the end of it, Matt. He didn't win, Shinsuke Nakamura. I mean, shocking in a way because I thought after seeing Oscar, who was the Royal Rumble winner, but two Royal Rumble winners, two Japanese stars, did not get their titles. I was quite surprised. I have nothing against AJ Styles. I was still happy because AJ Styles is still another favourite of mine. But Matt, the ending, the aftermath, that's what gets spoken about more than anything. I think this match will get summed up by what did you see that coming, first of all? I got to say I didn't.
I was completely the opposite way of thinking. I thought Nakamura had this and he needed it for his career to progress, to make himself a success in WWE, because he's lost at SummerSlam. He can't lose at WrestleMania, surely not. And yeah, he did. But yeah, so I think that says it all really about him, because now the reason they're thinking, okay, he'll never be the face of the WWE, or he'll never even be the face of the B show. That's pretty much what we're being told now. Yeah. Because I think that they don't believe he has the mic skills to carry himself, or the abilities to put himself over. I think his in-ring work is great, and they probably see that and recognise that, but I think they're just looking at him as he's not the guy. And I think the heel turn that comes, I think that's just another way of solidifying that. They're just going to make him, they say you could possibly be the top heel, but you'll never be the top face.
Yeah, I'm going to slightly disagree with how I feel about this with you, because if he'd have won this title, I still feel like they haven't really done much of his character, and I think he would have just gone one way, and I'm not sure. Like at the time, I thought he had to win this, but then after seeing, I've never considered a heel turn for him, so this really shocked me when they did it, and it was good because I didn't see it coming. If I'm honest with you, Matt, I thought when he bowed down and got on his knees, I was like, bloody hell, this is respectful. Jesus, this is ultra respectful. But when I saw him actually as a heel, I thought, man, maybe this is the best way to deal with him in WWE, because he was a little bit more edgier. He was a little bit more snappy. He was getting in the kicks heavier. And I thought he was playing it really well. He was playing it like kicking in stiff. And now I'm thinking to myself, okay, from a career standpoint, from the title, no, that isn't good for him. But in the long term, maybe this helps him. What's fascinating, and Jimbo put this in, he says, how come WWE look at Shinsuke like this, but they won't with Roman? How come they turn the guy like Shinsuke Nakamura heel, but they won't Roman? It's diabolical. And I'm a bit like, I never would see Shinsuke as a WWE heel guy. But now, I am seeing him that way because it's happened. And Vince McMahon always used to come out, well, they believe it when it happens. And it is a bit like that. It has to happen for you to start believing it. So, I actually think he will end up getting the belt. I do think he'll win it, but obviously this was not the time. But as well as that, I think he's come out of this. It could have come out a lot worse if he hadn't had the heel thing at the end. I'd have been like, "Man, this is over." But the fact that he turned, and the way he did it, and I think it's like quite a bit of a moment when he really took it out on AJ. I kind of really liked how stiff he was with him and really laying in the kicks. This might give him a more edgier side. For people, by the way, that say about his English, this is the thing I don't understand with WWE. There's a documentary at the moment on the network, Matt, where Shinsuke Nakamura, I forgot what it's called, but it's something about 40 minutes. His English is excellent. I don't know what the hell WWE are doing, but they have him talking stupid like Oscar does. Again, why is she shouting all the time, and why does he talk like just talk normal? And they can. That's the weird thing. Shinsuke Nakamura can speak good English. So maybe now, for the sake of him, WWE, because he's a heel, they'll just have him talking mainly like Japanese or something, or just broken English, like to lay it in. But yeah, shocking end to it. I didn't see it coming. I was pleasantly surprised after what we'd seen. Again, I had no real beef with AJ winning it. I thought the match could have been so much better if the fans were with it. I just think like the investment wasn't there. But then at the same time, Matt, the build up to this hasn't been overly fantastic, has it? Considering this has been cemented since Royal Rumble, it's been a bit lackluster, the actual feud with these two guys. But I do think this is going to go on. I think this feud may go up towards SummerSlam. I reckon SummerSlam is when you're going to see Nakamura win the belt now as the heel. So I do think there's more there for the feud and another match between these two guys, which hopefully will be better because there'll be a little bit more depth to the story after this one. Matt, my rating for this, I'm going to give this. It's this really tough. I'm gonna only because I've given a lot of 4s out, so I'm thinking, man, this should definitely be there. But like, I'm really between 3.5 and 4. I'm like somewhere in the middle of that because just the reaction just wasn't there, and that let it down. I'm gonna give it a 4, only because of the ending seemed to get the fans very interested. But for this should have been easily 4.5, 5. Should have got that grading because the main event of NXT, by the way, Gargano and Tommaso, that match would have got that for me. If I was scoring it, would have got 4.5 easily, close to a 5 because they took the fans on a journey. They got the fans, like all the fans in that crowd. That is how you work the fans and build the fans to those moments, to those near falls. They got them, and man, that Tommaso in that he was so hated. I've not, and it was all storyline. There was no real thing into that why you should hate him. It was all storyline driven, and this compared to that, in just the storytelling of it, just was nowhere near it. So for me, disappointing because this should have easily been the best match of the night. This isn't. I'm going to only give it a 4. For you, Matt?
Well, it was easy for me. I had this all the way down as a 4. I mean, there was nothing wrong with it. It was a good match. I kind of feel like if the heel turn had come before they made it to Mania, that would have maybe added an extra dynamic to the match, and maybe fans would have been more into it because they would have had the good guy and the bad guy and known which person they were cheering for before they came to the match. So that might have added something to that. But yeah, it was 4 star for me. Kind of wish it was.
I wish knowing this with all that entrance, because it was a typical babyface entrance. That's why I just never saw the heel change at the end. But it would have been great if he'd have turned heel during the match, and done some really like sneaky things behind the referee and low blowed him, and do you know what I mean? Like won it like that would have been something quite special as well. But yeah, AJ Styles, great for him, gets the win on the big stage. So there's not too many guys around like AJ Styles. So defending his championship. Matt, were you surprised that both Royal Rumble winners did not? Because I thought at least one of them will probably win, but were you shocked by this point that anything could happen?
I was surprised. That brought a statistic down, didn't it?
Yeah, big time. Yeah, that statistic actually isn't that great anyway anymore. When I've looked at it, there's actually a lesser chance. So, okay, going ahead then. So yeah, we get the Shinsuke Nakamura, the heel turn on WrestleMania, which was all for it. Then a match that by this point, again, this was one of the ones I kind of forgot about, but then it came on, didn't it, Matt? The Raw Tag Team Championship match. Oh man, this was the worst. I hated this entrance from the bar. I was like, it's so bloody stupid. I just didn't like it at all. I was like, this is nonsense. I don't really know. Like, these two are serious guys. Like, if this was New Day, I'd buy it. But like, why is Sheamus and Cesaro doing this crap? Like, it just didn't suit the characters. And oh man. Yeah, this. So let's talk about this, Matt, because we've got to get into this. Braun Strowman comes out, then he chucks. Well, he done exactly what I was thinking I'd do with it. Chuck the whole thing off. Then he comes down, and then he's like, "I need to pick my partner. It's gonna be someone in this arena. Is it you? Is it you? Is it you?" Oh man! And I'm like, "Oh shit!" And then I'm thinking to myself, "Is there a wrestler out there in the crowd, maybe that we just, because he says it's nobody in the back. It's not WWE." So I'm like, "Man, hopefully there's a wrestler that's out in the crowd that we haven't seen for ages. Like, give me anybody." When he picked the kid, Matt. What was your reaction? I mean, I tell you what, Sheamus and Cesaro did a very good job on their facials in this, because that's exactly what I was like. What the hell was he doing? What did you think to this and the way they set this up? Before we even talk about the match that it was, but what did you make of the setup? And was you disappointed from the build-up we'd had into this, or did you buy it?
Well, if anybody in WWE Creative is listening, that's it. You've done it. You've ruined Braun for me now. You destroyed it. I've been saying week after week, how many stupid segments am I going to see this guy in? And he comes out again tonight, and we've got these giant, big-headed people running for him like they're scared, stupid. He chucks like a cardboard trolley off the side. Oh, really? And then he beat up. We saw last time he was on Raw. He beat up Kurt Hawkins. He said, "What's your win-loss record?" Like it meant something.
Yeah.
It didn't mean anything, because he's going to pick someone who's never even fought a match in his life. He probably never even lifted a shopping bag, and he's like, "Come on, this kid." I'm probably a bad person, but I was so hoping that throughout that match he'd get tagged in, and I'd be like, "Yes, get him, get the kid."
Oh man, yeah. So he picks the kid out. By the way, I had loads of emails going, "Was that real? Was that real? Was it legit?" Of course, it wasn't real. God almighty. If you believe that, honestly, WWE's lawsuit, the solicitors would have been on the phone immediately, wouldn't they? The lawyers have been like, "Jesus Christ, get him out of there, make sure nothing happens." No. We found out later, Matt, that Nicholas, the famous Nicholas wrestler, now the tag team champion in his first WrestleMania match, is actually son of one of the referees, Matt. So spoils that one now, doesn't it? But of course that was always going to be the case. I was thinking there's no way. Now that would have been something if it was an actual legit fan there. I would have been like, that is really cool. But you knew it was a plant, and so I was like, okay, it would have meant something if it was, say, like a Make-A-Wish kid or something like that. I would have bought more into that. But the fact it was just, I knew it was a plant. I'm like, it's got to be somebody who knows somebody, and yeah, it was a WWF referees guy. Like I said, I would have preferred, if you're going to do this stupid thing, get little JJ out. I mean, he would have been better. Imagine the skills on the mic we're going to get every week from him. But yeah, I think for Braun Strowman, this is just basically finished it for me, Matt, as it has for you. This has destroyed his career going forward. I mean, I know that, the funny thing is, the weird thing is when that kid came in, the reaction was bigger than anything Shinsuke Nakamura or AJ Styles got. Because I was thinking, bloody hell, don't tell me he's actually going to get. But then, of course, the only thing I found funny about this is when Braun was like, "Get in there!" It's like shouting at him, "Stay there!" Fucking. But it was just like, my God. I mean, it'll be one of those things you see, Matt, that's like on the top 10